Good evening, everybody. Today is January 31st of 2024. This is the City of LaPorte Redevelopment Commission meeting. I'm calling this meeting to order. It is now 5:19 p.m. Would we all please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call. I myself, Brian Chalik, is present. J.T. McDermott is present. Jenica Francis Sagoni is present. What's your game again? Damon?
Yeah.
Damon Gasway, who's been absent for quite a while, is present. And Betsy Parkinson's present. We're all counted for. Election of officers. We're going to, I suggest we keep the officers the same as they were last year. Any agreements, disagreements? Have a motion?
I would clarify in the motion specifically the positions, and then you can vote once on the entire slate.
Got it. So the positions would be I as the president, Damon Gasaway as the vice president, J.T. McDermott as the secretary, and the two girls are the members, Jenna Francisconi and Betsy Parkinson.
I'll make a motion to approve the election of officers.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none.
So that was JT and Jenna? Or JT moved and Jenna seconded?
Yes.
Yep, okay.
All in favor, say by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Passes. Public comment. I'm opening public comment. It's 5:21 p.m. Anybody have anything to say? Mr. Frankie?
Yes, sir.
Sure? Mr. Maddox, do you have anything to say? Public comment is closed. It's still 5:21 p.m. We move pretty fast here.
I like
We don't mess around.
I like it.
Mr. Cook, do you have anything to say? Public comment's closed, but you can go ahead and say it.
I don't think I have anything, Brian.
Okay.
Public comment.
Thank you. Minutes, December 20th, 2023 regular meeting. Did everybody have a chance to look at the minutes? Any corrections, deletions?
I'll make a motion to approve the December 20th, 2023 regular meeting minutes.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I will second.
Motion and a second. Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, state by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 5-0.
You get the next one.
Claims, January 31st, 2024 claim docket. Everybody have a chance to look at that beauty? Any questions? Comments?
I'll make a motion to approve the January 31st, 2024 claim docket.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor state by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 5-0. Old business, we have none. We do stuff in the new stuff. Everything's new. New business. Opening, we're gonna cancel that one, correct? Table that first.
Table it, yeah, I guess.
Brian, I would just ask that we table that until your next meeting, and we'll open bids at the next RDC meeting.
Yep.
Did we make a motion?
You should motion to table it.
Do I have a motion to table?
I'll make a motion to table opening bids of public offering of former Don George property.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, state by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Passes 5-0. That's tabled till the next meeting. Letter interest for Newport Landing property. Mr. Cook.
Yeah, good evening to the Redevelopment Commission. Bert Cook, Executive Director of the LaPorte Economic Advancement Partnership. So I have two opportunities to present to you this evening, both in the form of letters of intent, which if you choose to move forward with, we would work with legal to get purchase agreements drafted and be able to present those to you at a subsequent Redevelopment Commission meeting. The two opportunities are both in the same area, what we call Newport Landing, so the area behind Dunkin' Donuts and Starbucks. One letter of intent is on a 1 acre parcel to be acquired by a financial institution who would ultimately build there along North Madison Street. And the other opportunity is for the remaining approximately 14 acres that would be acquired by a developer who intends to build a multi-unit retail center. At this point in time, there's not a site plan. They have secured a clothing tenant, and then would work to find additional tenants that would work in tandem with them. That will ultimately determine the number of buildings that are built and where those buildings are built with on the site. I think that works well with the long-intended plan for the Newport Landing area. It addresses some of the gaps in our current market, and ultimately would give us a good opportunity to see the remaining acreage in Newport Landing built out consistent with our expectations over the years. Happy to answer any questions that you might have. And again, just stress that for today's action, would be looking for you to, if it's the will of the board, to move forward with moving towards a purchase agreement, two separate purchase agreements that will obviously outline all of those important details that align with pricing and timing and all of the things that would typically go in a purchase agreement. Happy to answer questions if you have them.
I don't have a question, I have a comment. I'm excited to have these offers on the table, especially with the environment we're in. So great job.
Thank you, I appreciate that. I think it's, sometimes we forget because it's a project that has been so long, has been ongoing for so many years in the city of LaPorte, but, we have seen great development out there. I think this is consistent with what we've already seen and the decisions that the RDC has already made, and we'll look forward to, a successful completion. I'll just one more time stress for anyone who's maybe not as familiar, doesn't necessarily mean someone's building there tomorrow. It means someone has identified an opportunity, and we would work with them to maximize the potential to see that built at some point in the future.
Very good job.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank
Long
you.
time coming. At least keep your fingers crossed.
I'll make a motion to approve the letter of interest for Newport Landing Properties.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. Further discussion? Comments? Hearing none, all in favor state by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Passes 5-0.
Thank you.
Thank you. Approval for quiet zone railroad crossing bollards. I think,
So previously, the Redevelopment Commission has approved and paid for various safety improvements related to the city's quiet zone project. As a part of the review of the documents and the ultimate approval of the quiet zone designation, the Federal Railroad Administration requested some additional improvements, which would be physically installed by the city in the form of additional curbing and bollards that would need to be installed on the Madison Street crossing. we have an opportunity, but the city is not, we're not experts in maintaining traffic as we do those kinds of, construction improvements. And so we've received a quote from High Star Traffic to basically just provide the maintenance of traffic and, kind of the safety actions needed for the construction crews to be able to put those improvements in. And so that is the last page in your packet. The information about that's the last page in your packet. And it's for a total of $1,967. So I would request your approval of that so we can keep that project moving along and remain in compliance with what the Federal Railroad Administration is requiring for that project. And we anticipate additional work to be done to stay on top of and remain proactive in terms of some other issues that have been experienced at a couple of other crossings in the city since the submittal and approval of that designation. And those would be some anticipated additional developments. I don't have the details of that for you tonight, but I just want to give you a heads up that there's more coming with regard to improvements at the Weller Ave and Orchard crossings. So I'd request your approval of the $1,967 for traffic, maintenance of traffic services for the installation of those improvements on Madison.
Questions?
I'll make a motion for the approval of the quiet zone railroad crossing bollards.
A motion, do I have a second?
I will second.
A motion and a second. Further discussion, any? Hearing none, all in favor, state by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 5-0. Oh, this is the biggie. Approved contract for legal services with Newby, Lewis, Kaminsky, and Jones. And our attorney is too busy doing something else.
Yeah. he
So we
wants to
get you.
He wants to get paid, not show up. How does that work? So, first of all, we appreciate you guys using Newby, Lewis, Kaminsky, and Jones the last few years, both city and then with the Redevelopment Commission work. So Matt obviously is the lead, would propose to continue to do the work for a flat fee as detailed in the engagement letter of $60,000 a year spread out over the 12 months. It's a slight increase from last year. The engagement letter details out attendance at all meeting, daily conversation, negotiating the deals that are going through, things not included, also detailed, litigation, bond work, things like that. So we'd like to continue to do the work. We appreciate everything that you guys do and having us.
that too?
That's it.
We'll be happy to continue.
Questions? Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve contract for legal services with Newby, Lewis, Kaminsky, and Jones.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Motion and a second. No further discussion, so all in favor state by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 5-0.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And you can thank Matt Agenel, too.
I
When you
will.
see him tomorrow, when you're drinking coffee or whatever,
I'll
you can
pass
tell
it
him
along.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, other business, none. Damon?
Brian, if I
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, I just want to, Craig, and I think there's a little bit of confusion on the improvements for the quiet zone. So additionally, and as everyone knows, as Craig mentioned, city's doing a ton of work right now, making sure those safety improvements are going through so we can get the quiet zone fully approved. The request from the Redevelopment Commission is for $12,668.82. Those are the improvements that need to be made that ultimately were, I don't think we discussed during Craig's presentation. So
Yeah, that was for the stuff we had in
The previous work.
right,
Correct.
previous work.
So we did approve that previously?
I don't think we did approve that. The
Well-
12,000.
If there's some confusion about that, I suppose we should approve that.
Yeah, I think that it would be safe, if you don't mind, it
Sure,
would
go
be
ahead.
safest to just go ahead and approve the full amount. If we've already done that, I don't think we're harming anything. And
That's in addition to the.
correct, this is new
1,967.
improvements, consistent with what you've approved in the past, but additional work that we have to do to provide for some additional safety
Well, the
measures.
12,000 and the one we just said, almost $2,000 was for the labor to put the $12,000 worth of stuff in, that's right?
I think that's correct.
That could
That's
be, yeah,
correct.
I think it's also, the 12,000 is also Madison Street.
yeah, that makes sense. So, once again, the number's $12,668.82.
So I'll need a motion.
That's in addition to the 2,000 we just approved.
Right.
Okay.
What was the total?
$12,668.82.
Okay, so I'll make a motion for the approval of the Quiet Zone Railroad Crossing bollards totaling $12,668.82.
And in addition of the $2,000.
Yeah, I think you've already done that, so you're good with that.
Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Further discussion. You all understand?
Yeah.
The 2,000 was for the labor to put the $12,000 worth of stuff in, right? Okay. Motion, second. All in favor, state by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 5-0.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, and that will come from Mike Green, as I understand it. Correct. Yeah, okay. The same vendor that you've approved on previous dockets.
Right. The only guy that does it.
Yep.
Okay, any other business? Hearing none. Damon?
Make a motion to adjourn.
I have a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second?
I will second.
I have a motion and a second. No further discussion. All in favor, state by saying aye.
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 Opposed? We pass 5-0. We are adjourned. Wait a minute, we're gonna do this. Right?